One thing I will say in the last half hour, in fact, we've been updating the power outages throughout the morning. Vanderburgh County's seen a bulk of those, and we only had about maybe 4,000, and now that number up to 10,000 so far. That's just in Vanderburgh County alone, and most of that in the northern and western portion of the county.
And we started to see initial reports, Gunner, over in Illinois, and it kind of moved over Kentucky to Indiana. So a lot of our communities, that's the thing about this morning's storms, it wasn't in just one particular area. A lot of our tri-state communities waking up this morning to that damage.
Yeah, that's one thing I was talking about earlier this morning is a lot of severe weather threats. You know, it happens in one corner of the tri-state, doesn't really impact the other. This was a very unique situation where from top to bottom, we had severe weather pushing through the tri-state. So we all saw something today. Fortunately, we're all not seeing anything. There's barely a rain cloud in the sky here in the tri-state. These tornado watches are going to expire here soon out towards Du Bois, out towards Hancock, Perry, and even into Ohio County. But that doesn't mean the threat for severe weather is entirely over. We still have a threat day for today, and that is because severe storms are likely going to be firing up again in the afternoon. So we have more threats for severe weather today. Let me repeat that. We had threats already, and that first round of threats is over. But as we head towards later today into the afternoon, we have another threat for severe weather. The National Weather Service in Paducah has even said that the possible tornado through northern Vanderburgh County, they can't send assessment crews to the scene today because of the severe weather threat later today. So the assessment will likely happen tomorrow. We won't have answers as to what happened in Vanderburgh County and Warwick County this morning, whether it was straight line winds or if it was a tornado, until tomorrow or Thursday once we get new information. But here's that threat for severe weather now until 2 p.m. So we're still in the clear. I'm not saying we're guaranteed more storms, but as this morning was any indication, the threat pretty much came to fruition. Now the threat for severe weather, it was mostly for the northern half of the tri-state today. And you can see by what happened, a lot of the active weather was north of the Ohio River. So the Severe Prediction Center basically nailed the nail on the head with the threat being a northern one. Now for this afternoon, the Severe Prediction Center is identifying the eastern half of the tri-state as the one that's more under threat. Now I believe this afternoon will be more of a cellular type event instead of a squall line event. So this morning we saw a storm move north to south, west to east through the tri-state. This one doesn't look to be too widespread, but more individual. So this may be a community by community threat for severe weather. Storms fire up likely around 9 and 10, continuing through the afternoon. But then once we finally reach around 2, 3 o'clock, we start to see things calming down, drying out, and the threat should finally be over. And once it does, we'll be seeing sunnier skies into eclipse day.